real life action. Now here's an event that takes you back to a time when style and power first came together. It's the classic Chevy reunion held every year up in Canada.
Well, I think the first thing to remember is that these cars, 55, 56, 57 Chevrolets, were actually designed in the early 50s. So they were taking their styling cues from aircraft. After the Second World War, interest in aircraft, of course, was high. So you see hood ornaments and ornaments and the sweep styling, basically as aircraft styling. The fins on the 57, they come right out of airplanes, of course. And Harley Earl, who was the head of the styling department at GM at the time, was very caught up with airplanes and thought that those were the things that would appeal to the public, so he put them on his cars.
After 1954, General Motors did make what is considered a fairly significant change, and that's evident in these three cars here today. And to some degree, these cars are an evolution, one beyond the other, starting with 55 and moving up. There is similarities in them. A lot of common parts, windshield, windows, and a lot of those things are actually common with them. Quite a change from 1954, and also it was an introduction of a new powertrain. The V8 engine was introduced in 55, and that was a major engineering innovation as well as model change. So with a combination of the change in the power plants and the change in styling, it was a major change in the industry. Of course, trying to keep up with Ford, and Ford was major competition at that point as well.
The reason the 57 Chev is so popular is its appeal of being a custom car or completely restored original car. And it seems to have an age group that chases it. Guys feeling nostalgic who grew up around these cars seem to follow, restore, and maintain them.
My father had a 1957 brand new, and I was quite young then, but I remember it well, and there's something about it. It just grabs you, and you just want to go back there and get behind the wheel just like he did.
The thing about them is that it's probably the most popular 3 years amongst all Chevrolets ever built, and there seems to be more of them all the time. There's more and more reproduction parts made, there's more and more cars on the road, and sometimes you think there's more today than there were back then. But the reason for the popularity is the styling. Chevy was known to have a pretty sedate, pretty boring old man's car before 1955. In 55 they brought out something really special, and with a V8 engine in it. By 57, they'd bored the V8 engine out to 283 cubic inches. We're offering fuel injection for the first time, and it was pretty exciting times for car buffs. So suddenly you had a hot rod right from the factory, something that never existed before.
They're really so popular that it has been worthwhile for people to get into the restoration business and also the reproduction business to actually make the parts that are needed to restore these vehicles. And basically a 57 Chev is available, most of the parts are available one way or the other through reproduction or remanufactured parts. So from a standpoint of availability and being able to restore for the hot rod enthusiast or the custom person or the restored person, it's all there. It's all there to do.
If you're craving a clean, practical car that seems to appeal to most people, then you're looking at a 55, 56, or 57 Chevrolet. For more information on the old school Chevys, go to our website at steeldreamstv.com.